Hello everybody, this is Simon with the 8th episode of Let's Play Mega Man 4. After having surmounted 7 stages and bosses of varying quality, it's time to finish the roster off. Drillman's level, in my opinion, is really bland and boring and the boss is a pain, so this'll be fun. Mostly because I can taunt him for having neither arms nor a mouth. I'm such a meanie. The name of the game this time is Enemy Gauntlets and we'll get right to it in the first screen, but wait, haven't we gotten something last time? Yes. With the Bright Stopper, the Flash Stopper, we can totally freeze time in place for everyone, forever. Well, not forever, for a few seconds, but that's more than enough to take out anything that moves. Just like that. Flash Stopper is amazingly useful, even if its name is kind of stupid, seeing as we already had a Flashman who had Time Stopper as a weapon. Anyway, it's not too useful in the next part because, yeah, enemy gauntlets and the mats simply aren't vulnerable to it while in their hardhead form, but Rain Flash takes care of that. You can bypass lots and lots and lots of ordinarily hard obstacles with Flash Stopper, and it's the main reason for why it's taken first in the races most of the time. Hey, Dick move spikes here, huh? Well, almost, but... This life is quite the trap because you have to edge forward like I'm doing here in order to make the jump. It's deceptively... it seems deceptively simple, but really it's very easy to bonk your head and fall into the pit. Again with the skull shield, by the way, purely psychological spikes on top. I could also use dive missile on those guys, we've seen it work quite well, but considering that dive missile is the weakness of the boss, you might want to preserve it. Those guys here are really annoying. I think it's the only room they show up in, and yeah. They stagger their attacks in quite a way that will make you miserable if you do not pay attention. However, Rain Flush, as always, rules supreme. Easiest E-tank ever. By the way, have you any words for what you'd call the background color? I'm stumped all the time. The rotors can be taken out easily with Flash Stopper too, but I want to experiment a bit. And promptly miss. Don't know what came over me there. But we'll be needing Ferro Shot in a short while, so why not take it out right now? Best way to deal with the rotors, as always, is just charge up, doesn't matter if Ferro Shot or the Mega Buster, and, well, go to town on them before they close up. And this is why Ferro Shot is absurdly broken. The rocks that fall down here would normally be quite the hindrance, especially if you're going through this with Mega Buster alone. But seeing as we've got a mobile shield on top of our heads, it's absolutely no problem at all. Yeah, what you also can do quite easily is show off through the flashing where the terrain will be again, and take out the threat completely, because they'll never fall when time is stopped, obviously. What's also really good to use here, and I like it quite a lot, because you'll always get the loot for the stones, is, well, Skull Shield, as you can see here. Yeah, and those guys do that, they're completely non-threatening most of the time. That was that. Not much to write home about, huh? So the boss. The boss can either be really difficult or just absurdly annoying to fight. He's one of those guys that spends three-fourths of his time completely and utterly invincible, that is, underground like that. And shooting at the start will always miss him, and he's invincible while he drills into the floor, and oh god, it's such a chore to fight Drillman. I really do not like this fight. When he decides to stay out of the ground, we'll see it later a bit. Yeah, he mostly will jump around a bit and shoot his drill missiles, and they will block your shots, and it is annoying as hell. I actually have no idea on how to properly fight this. It would be one of the hardest fights in this game if you only did this. Seeing as he does drill in all the time, that only makes it tedious as fuck. If you're having bad luck and he decides to stay out constantly, well then you're in for a world of pain. On the other hand, this is where you can hit him with his weakness. I'd much recommend using it against him, because seriously. Well, anyway, can I pull it off now? Yes, nice finish. So, we get another weapon that just basically shoots forwards and deals a lot of damage, which makes Ring Boomerang even more obsolete, but we'll see about that. And also, rush chat for this game. Kind of late, but you'll see about why it isn't all that useful at all compared to what it was in Mega Man 3. In due course though, for now, we've taken out all 8 Road Masters and Dr. Cossack shows his face. What will he have in store for us? Well, we'll see about that in a few weeks. Until then, this was Simon, and thank you very much for your attention.